Hi. I have gone live, and this is probably going to just be a choppy recording more than anything. In which case, why didn't I just do what I've normally done for my last 100 videos outside my birthday live stream and just sit down and record something that I could then edit and hit play? And I needed to kind of just rip the Band-Aid off. I hate cliches, even though I tend to use a lot of them. And I don't plan on this being an incredibly long live stream like my birthday, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day live stream was with you guys, which was glorious. I also thought that one would be like 30 minutes long. And I thought that I thought I would be there alone because it was New Year's, and I was really surprised and happy that I wasn't. I don't know how loud. Hello. I don't know how loud this is. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a lot nervous right now. I wish there were a way to test this. Lori, I'm going to start crying. Hi. Hello, my love. First off, quick question. Can you hear me worth a darn? Do I need to figure out my microphone situation, or am I okay? This is stuff I can't test until I'm doing it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. As always, Laurie, thank you. Yes, this is a very, as I was just kind of babbling a minute ago, this is a very I pondered doing a what do they call it, a premiere that I was going to do a live tonight. I thought about doing I thought about doing the live yesterday, and I haven't really been able to kind of bring myself to find the energy to do so. Shady girl, who are you? What's your wait? I'm sure I know who you are, but who are you in regard to your screen name? What's your first name? Help me out. I don't plan on, making this a super long live the way that New Year's was. That was a real celebration. But I'm going to try very hard. I'm already failing, but I'm going to try very hard not to be like hella emotional, even though I'm known for being such. But I do want to explain why I've been missing. And Laurie, you are the one person that I've explained most to why I've been missing from everything. Okay. Old patterns and old versions of ourselves. What a bitch, right? Like, just wow. Sorry. I'm going to have these gaps of silence here while I kind of wrap my head around. This is why I haven't recorded. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hi. Oh, please don't. Sorry, I hope my AC doesn't. It just kicked on. It's 90 some degrees here, and so I haven't posted videos other than that in months, and I have become small in my life again. And for anyone who has paid much attention to the beginning of my story, who watched any of my first videos, going back to how I became Army, I found Army when I was at my, like so many other people, I was at a really low point. I was at my lowest point, and I felt so small and insignificant. I had been trying really hard to be heard in my life by people who I know that love me. And I know a lot of us struggle with that whole, oh, people don't get me thing. So I may sound really spoiled and privileged to be whining about that. Um, it's really hard to talk about our personal levels of growth without talking about our personal levels of pain. And it's hard to talk about um, pain without it sounding like there's some sort of villain involved, someone who has been abusive or neglectful or bad or done me wrong. And at the point where I found BTS, that's where I was. I was desperately trying to figure out who was wrong in all of this. Was it me for wanting things and feeling neglected, or was it my husband for not hearing me and not helping me, or was it a grander scale thing than even that, even though my world had become very small? um, but through the joy of BTS, through the day that they saved my life, and in the days that followed, damn, I really hope my air conditioning turns off in a minute, because it is like right there, the furnace. So I hope it's not terribly loud. I'm sorry. Um, through the turn on some music. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but maybe. Um, the day that I sat on this couch and listened to BTS and blah, 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 and they saved my life and they permeated my soul. And so many of you are going to know what I'm talking about. I didn't know what they were saying most of the time, and yet I felt like they were talking to me, which made me feel like I was absolutely crazy. And then, um, and then somehow through what I was hearing, I felt like they heard me. I felt like they had always heard me. And then I kind of didn't care if I was crazy, just because that was a nice change of pace to feel understood. That literally I sat on this couch and thought, can I move? Can I move to Korea? Can I find these people who, um, for at least this moment, have made me feel not insignificant? And then I started studying them. And of course, when I swear I won't go through like everything, but when you start to study them and you hear their stories and you get how unheard and dismissed and pushed aside that they were over and over again, and you find out that just because you only heard of them in September and October of 2020 doesn't mean they just suddenly appeared then. They have been working hard for a decade, and then you start to find out how smart they are and how philosophy and psychology and literature all come together in this. So, yes, we are alive. Hi, Tracy. um, Beyond the music, we fall in love with them as people. And hey, Tracy. Um, Hi, Angela. Sorry, I missed your comment until Laurie replied to you. Um, and I can't speak for anybody else. Yes, we fall in love with them as people. That is why Army is the spectacular thing that it is. It is more than just being into the music and kind of being into a person. It is being in love with these people. And for me, I had loathed myself for so long, and I had made myself really small to try to fit into I'm not crazy. The stuff that I like and the stuff that I want isn't crazy, but it doesn't really fit into the comfort zone and life of people that I chose to build my life with. And I felt like it was my job to pack myself away. And I didn't realize that until BTS. Um, and as I started learning them and studying them, they were strength to me. They were proof to me that I remember laying on that couch that day and hearing the song "Am I Wrong?" and thinking I'm not wrong. Like I'm not wrong for just wanting to have a say in things and just wanting to have a say in my own life. And um um thank God my AC just turned off. It's so loud. Sorry, this is already like so much longer than I intended for be. And I don't even have a clock. I don't even know how long. Okay, 12 minutes. Yeah, I do. My camera's blocking my vision. So, long story short, I spent 2021 committed to loving myself. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Lord. It's so loud on my end. I was afraid that the AC was just one giant woof. Remember when I chose not to care what other people thought about me being a BTS fan? It was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. I'm gonna open a can now. Um, that's why that right there. I remember when I chose not to care what other people thought about me being a BTS fan. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. That is what I went through last year when I decided to look for you. When I decided to create this channel, and because the reactors I had found were fantastic and they're fired up and they're enthusiastic, but some of them are in it for the excitement or for the clout, or they have their own circle. Some of them, um, and in the end, I kind of didn't feel like I still felt like I was supposed to be respectable and fitting into. Um, I'm a mom to two toddlers. I'm a wife of friggin' 20 years, and I'm a Christian, and everything's supposed to fit into these nice. I live in suburbia, and which I never wanted to, but here I am, and the more I liked BTS, as you guys know, because you've been through it. Permission, that has been such the word, right? It's been okay to be myself. Um, Here's the warning I should have given when I started this live stream. This is going to be messy. This is going to be more of an airing of dirty laundry than a rational person should do. And I've not talked because I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I freaking hate this whole, I feel like I'm being silenced and no one's telling me that I need to be, just to be clear about that. But, I feel like Trisha Paytas. I feel like I'm about to come on here. Come on here. Listen to my country accent popping out. Um, Look for armies that would share the same feeling and inspiration that I felt with BTS and their music, and now I'm here too. So in 2021, I crash course. I found BTS. I thought my family, like super extended family, I thought everything was going to be, I thought people were going to be happy because people had said for years that they missed seeing me, that I had lost my sparkle. Um, and the more happy I felt from BTS and the things that I was reading because of BTS, like Carl Jung's Map of the Soul and Demian, and watching movies like Snowpiercer, the more I dug in, the weirder people thought that it was, and they weren't happy for me. They were more, you guys know the story. You've been there, you've done that yourself. So yeah, people, and then I questioned, maybe I am weird, maybe I should stop. But then I was like, oh my God, I was literally on death's doorstep. And BTS picked my ass up off of that grave and breathed life into me. And if y'all can't be happy about that, then that's up to you. And it was a year of rebuilding. I came here. I started looking for you guys. You guys found me. And then I started, we went through rabbit holes together, and Rise of Bangtan and Anissa um and and BTS released these two great fun bops to continue bringing comfort after the album of B. And I will forever immediately cut out any army who give flack about Permission to Dance. You may not like it. That is fine. There's a very popular BTS song that I don't like, so I understand just like not having a vibe. But if you're gonna give flack to Permission to Dance, which is a freaking life anthem, go away. I mean, I don't have words for you if you're gonna actually just like crap on that song. Permission to Dance is so important for so many of us. And the metaphor of that is huge. And yes, we all want to like take pride in saying that our guys, they're the ones who wrote, they're the ones who produced, they're the ones who do everything. But I'm not going to be upset that they collaborated with American artists in order to get these Trojan horses, and especially when Permission to Dance matters. Like it just matters. And when they went to LA, and some of us were there, and I know several of us right here, well, I don't know where the chat's showing up for you, but I'm literally pointing at it to myself here. Some of us right here in this chat 1 year ago right now thought we would never actually see BTS perform, and we have now. Because they've come to the States twice. We've seen them. Because of the Permission to Dance tours. Their residency in LA and Vegas. And I'm sorry, I'm babbling. I went to Vegas. I went to LA. And I thought that was the end of my marriage. You have no idea how big that was. That I did not ask permission to go on that trip. You have no idea how much it means that in the middle of the night, that night, booked a hotel room and then started figuring out flights and flew to LA to meet with one of you and stay in a room, like to actually spend time face to face with one of you who I met here. And then to turn around and do the same thing when they did in Vegas with you, Laurie. I went with Laurie. Laurie flew from Canada and we went to Vegas to see. So I've now gotten to face, and I wish I was not exactly well for either of those trips. So I didn't get, I know Tracy, you were in LA, right? Did you go to Vegas? Like my I can't even keep this stuff straight. Sorry, I'm so long-winded babbling right now. I'm trying to pull this together. Highlight. So let's roll with that word, Laurie. Highlight. That's why I'm here right now. I've been missing from my own channel this year. Sorry, I can feel like my eyes doing weird things. Because I've been missing, I feel like, from my own life in 2022. I left for LA. You could ask my sister and my dear friend who I've nicknamed Peaches, even though she doesn't know it, who I shared a room with in LA. I sobbed one day. I just lost it and sobbed in the shower. I swear, I think everybody on the hotel floor could hear me because I felt like me going meant my marriage was over. And I came back. And marriage is just hard. And when it's bad, it's really hard. You don't want it to be. I thought you went to both, Tracy. Oh yeah, Tracy, didn't you go Easter weekend to Vegas? And that's why we didn't meet up. Isn't that correct? Because Laurie and I went weekend one. My head is total salad. This 2019, when I had not a single friend, terrible depression, and suicidal thoughts. Fighting! I'm proud of you and you were doing good. Every day you were doing good. Yeah, I came back from LA and my husband just kind of was sweet and sulking, and he's been in denial. He's been in so much denial for years that we're struggling, even though I've tried to talk to him about it. See, this is the Trisha Paytas stuff. I'm sorry. I haven't come here because I don't know how to talk about anything without it. I don't want people to think that there's a good guy and a bad guy out of this situation, because there's not. It's just we're very different people and we communicate differently and we need different things and we enjoy different things, and we've been together so long. And I love him so much, which is why this all sucks so much. But I struggled. I came back from LA and I thought, all right, like I did it. I was willing to just let the chips fall where they may. Another cliche. And instead of that, everything just went back to how it was. And I felt guilty. And I did my New Year's live stream with you guys here, and I felt guilty. I felt guilty because my husband was upstairs. He was not supposed to be here. He was supposed to be on a hunting trip. And I had planned my birthday to be with you guys because I wanted that. But then when he changed his plans, I felt guilty. I spent January feeling guilty. In February, I had that crappy ass fall where I fractured my skull and I broke ribs and I broke my arm in 3 places. And I came back and I planned on coming back full-fledged. Sorry, I'm so badly. I feel terrible right now about this. I wish I had was more organized. I came back and I made that video about my fall, and somebody in the comments just I felt I felt heartbroken and obliterated by them, and they were defending Jimin. By the way, Jimin's my bias. I try to talk about him a lot. I have a lot of feelings about him. Um, they felt like I insulted Jimin. They felt like I had insulted his character and basically insinuated that he was a rather callous person, which was not my intentions. I was talking about how insecure I felt when I fell. That I felt like Jimin would be embarrassed by me in that moment. Not because I think he actually would, but because I felt so just feeble and futile and useless. And in my head, it's like, God, even Jimin would look at me and think I was pathetic. And Jimin's got such a huge heart. So even if I'd even be pathetic in his eyes, then I'm really pathetic. Like that was what was going through my head. But then when that person again was defending Jimin, but was like, do you even hear yourself? How horrible that you would say that about him. And then you made this comment about Korean people. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person and I shouldn't be on YouTube because I'm insulting people I care about, apparently. Like I'm making people feel like I'm saying bad things about Jimin or anyway. Marriage isn't easy. That fall sucked. It did. It was a long recovery. I looked pretty battered from it. It played some head games with me. But the kicker is it actually like made the wedge in my marriage bigger. To the point where 1 month later he and I were at each other's throats. We've never argued. My husband is not an arguer. One of the many differences between us, I talk, I share feelings, I cry, I want to hug, I want to laugh, I want to cry with you, I want to be part of that tumbling puppy cyclone of BTS with you, you know? And he's more composed and not an arguer. And it we had like a week that was just awful. And then suddenly it's like we thought we had a breakthrough. We really did. We thought we had a breakthrough and we we both committed to working on our marriage. We saw suddenly the light of hope coming in on everything and at that point we were right on the cusp of Permission to Dance Vegas happening and Laurie and I had yes. I definitely know that Jimin would not. Sorry, just thinking about Jimin. Jimin's so relatable because I mean they all struggle, so never mind. I guess they're all really relatable that way. They struggle in so many ways. One of Jimin's struggles is with gravity. So my fall, like really, um, you know, is something he would have really understood. And everyone, I mean, I'm surrounded by total strangers, as some of you already heard, total strangers who just showered me with care. And nobody looked at me like, "Oh, you pathetic old lady." You know, They looked at me like they loved me. And that's the thing is, like, I felt really loved by total strangers who had run over to help me when I fell. And then came home and didn't feel that in my own walls and in the walls of my marriage and the walls of my heart. So, hence the explosion of my marriage a month later. But then again, when we thought we were working toward everything, and then it was time to go to Vegas. So, I thought, I don't know. Things were awkward because it's awkward when your marriage is falling apart. It's awkward when you're working on your marriage, you know? But and I feel terrible, but I've gone to two trips now and met with Peaches and my sister and met with Laurie, and I have not been in tip-top health for either trip. My body throbbed for the first few days, and I was like just a sad sack. But the fall was so made traveling. Sorry, I'm stuttering. The fall made traveling so much harder than I thought it would. And it took me a couple few days to recover physically just from navigating airports. Again, I felt feeble and insecure. Laurie had so much grace. Girl, you are a champion. Laurie is um ready to rock and roll when you travel. You are like energy, and I thought I was going to pass out in that heat. You were amazing. Struggling from old age. You're so funny. Laurie like woke up with energy and was like, woo. And I'm like, oh, body hurts. I'm not moving today. I'm not moving till it's concert time. Laurie is a great friend. We have right here, this community is very special, very phenomenal. But it was like the longer I was gone, the harder it was to come back. This whole channel is great people. I mean, I feel wildly blessed that we as Bangtan souls have found each other and continue to find each other and to reach out and find, the Bangtan soul of life. And armies are some of the best people I've met. So I guess that kind of brings me to, I came back from Vegas and suddenly it was like an old version of my marriage appeared. Um, an old version of my husband appeared, and by old version I mean January, but not the one where we had a breakthrough. And then immediately an old version of me appeared. But it had already been appearing. Like, as soon as we decided to work on our marriage, it was like I was afraid to come back here because I didn't want to share that we're struggling with things because it feels really disrespectful to him. I'm coming on a public platform and saying that, again, saying that we're having issues, which can make it sound, I don't, there's no reason for anybody to be against anybody. So, and then when it's like, as things were just reverted more, and then I went back to just feeling like all over again, like it was 2019, like it was 2020, like I wasn't, like I shouldn't speak up, like I don't have a voice again, like I can't fight for myself if I'm also fighting for my marriage. April just felt like April was scary. And I haven't felt that bad about myself since before I found BTS. Not the beginning of April, because that was Vegas. But it was like immediately, as soon as I started fighting for my marriage. And I feel like the people in my life, like in my immediate life, are very okay with me getting rid of myself, even though my marriage has never been good for me doing that. Thank you, Kelly. I spent the last couple weeks. It's been harder. 2021, my marriage was bad, as I referenced in so many videos. But I was taking care of myself and knew that that would either make my marriage better than it's ever been, or that we weren't meant to be together anyhow. And I felt good about that. This time around, now that we were supposedly in it together, it just felt worse than it's ever felt. Because it made me feel like I was crazy all over again. That big breakthrough we had at the end of February, did I hallucinate that whole thing? Everything we said we were going to do differently together. Did I hallucinate that whole conversation? That whole thing where we're going to rip each other's hearts open to bare our souls to each other in a pursuit of healing this marriage. Did I hallucinate all of those things? Um, and if I didn't, why am I the only one doing any of that? Um, Trick is you have to listen to your real inner voice, right? Let's start going to the map of the soul here, right? So there's that damn inner chatter that you do have to ignore. You got to figure out whose voices those really are, because they're not usually yours. Which is why I'm here. I kind of just decided to say fuck it to the silence and the fear of speaking up, and I've got a new therapist. I haven't had a therapist in a while. And the story of finding him actually is a little bit fascinating within itself, but that's a whole different shebang. But one thing I have realized the last few days, once I started realizing I was going to come make this live stream, this video, and I was going to come back, and I'm not going to be silent, I started realizing I have a very strong will to live. I've walked too close to the edge too many times, and really proven, not trying to be punny here, I didn't realize it's just that the proof that I'm okay. And that if there's a problem in my marriage or wherever else, I am not the problem. Our relationship dynamics, our communication patterns, so forth, may be the problem. I am not the problem. I am fine. Not to say I don't have work to do, but I've been really inspired by the guys and their proof thing. My camera's gonna crap out any second. Sorry. I've been really inspired by the guys doing their proofs, and we haven't even seen all of them yet. But so excited for the anthology and to see them talk about their proofs. And you guys, not just BTS, but Army, Bangtan Souls. You guys, right there in my comments. Those who leave comments below, those who found me on Instagram. When I didn't necessarily earn it or deserve it. We get to be each other's proof. Isn't that just freaking incredible? I cried yesterday watching Super Tuna. I'm not kidding. I burst out into tears watching Super Tuna because I was thinking how happy I was that he debuted that when I was flying back from LA, and I was so happy for him. So happy for Jen and for us as Army. Like, this is such an exciting everything to find each other, to find them, to share creativity and corniness and love and intelligence and questions and heart. And that's all I've ever wanted. And I have it. You guys are proof right here. Sorry, I'm all like squeaky. You know, when Laurie and I went and saw them in Vegas, Butter. Butter is when I burst out bawling during the concert. Isn't that absolutely ridiculous? Butter. Um, but in that moment, from where we were sitting, the stage was so lit up, and I could just see the ocean of Army around them, and they were at the very end of the stage, and the stage was so bright. It's like they were radiating light. And I thought, oh my God, they are so surrounded by love. I hope these 7 men feel how surrounded by love they are. I hope they feel that every day for the rest of their lives. And I just like burst into uncontrollable tears. Super Tuna is phenomenal. I hate that Jin questioned himself so much. And see, this is why you guys are proof. You get it. I didn't even mean to make this like a whole thing about proof, but you understand. I got accused for we only like to talk about we were only talking about what Jimin and J-Hope ate for dinner last week. Well, we might be talking about what Jimin and J-Hope ate for dinner last week, but it ends up turning into conversations about love and culture and trying things and experiences and like what song did Anissa just say on Instagram a couple of days ago that she started crying to? And it was like an upbeat bop. Was it Permission to Dance? No. Anyway, I bawled looking at my watch 5 minutes before the concert was supposed to. So I remember that. The thing that really sucks about the "We Don't Need Permission to Dance" thing is that when they performed in Seoul, fans actually needed permission to dance. That was such a terrible irony that sucked. But you know what? They were dancing their hearts. Everybody knows it. Namjoon even said, "Yell and dance on your way to your cars." Like, we just may not have permission to dance in every exact moment exactly where we are, right? That did suck for K Armies. K Armies deserve better. I can't wait for them to get the royal treatment from BTS. And I didn't understand as an Army before how much performance really means to BTS. But I get it now. Having seen them and seen them twice, God, I am so blessed. I cannot believe. I can believe 1 year ago I thought I would never see them. And now I have no doubt that if they perform again in North America, I will see them again, barring another ridiculous fall. The kid next door. What is your name? Give me your name. First name, please. Or pseudonym if you want, because I have a friend here that I call Peaches, and that is not Peaches' name. She doesn't even know that I call her that. I know they were screaming on the inside. And also, the kid next door, where do you live? Are you North America? Are you young? Are you middle aged? Are you older? Just trying to like get a grasp for seriously, if suddenly everything just psh, it's because my battery is gonna pluck. I just really wanted to rip the band-aid off, and I knew if I had to sit down and record it and edit it, I wasn't gonna do it. Um, and I couldn't just come back and be like, "Hey guys, let's watch a video," without yeah, saying that I was gonna have to come from a place of I'm tired of silence. I choose not to be anymore. I will have to be careful to not sound disrespectful to my husband or marriage. And I'm sure might be accused of that. I'm tired of disrespecting myself by like holding up in a corner and crying. I'm just tired of that. Tracy, why didn't I know you're 56? I feel like I swear I thought you were like 35. Okay, so you live in the US. Great. If you are US, Korea, or Japan, odds I feel like are high for you having a chance. You're 18, so you're of like a, you know, you're not 14, you're not 15, you're not having to ask mom and dad for money. Like Kathleen, you're find a way, make a way. One of the most brilliant men I've ever personally known in my life. King Jimmy, my brother-in-law, find a way, make a way, was sort of his motto. And I hope for you that you get to. Because for me, I didn't know I was going to. Literally, the concert was announced, permission to dance, and I was like, wow, I'm in North Carolina. That's in LA. That's really sad. I won't get to go. And then at 1:30 in the morning, I was like, who the hell said I don't get to go? I'm 42 and like we didn't even have a conversation about this. Why didn't I ask myself? Why didn't I talk to my husband? Never mind, I'm booking a room. So I pray that every army who has Bangtan soul sees them because it is special. It is special to be surrounded by army. Oh my God, I just feel better being here. DK is so proud of K Army and so proud of Armies of Vegas for cheering extra loud. I'm disappointed with Vegas Army. I mean, I'm Vegas Army too. The ones that friggin' pelted things at the guys, that was embarrassing. That was shameful. And the ones that I have video of people who were on floor trying to rush to get to the carts when the guys went around on the parade floats. No, no, that's not okay. That said, a stadium with 55,000 army in it, and you had a few hundred ding dongs that probably need whacked in the head pretty hard. But um, outside of that, Army Army's a huge fan base. There's always going to be in any fan base. I always say I'm a Gilmore Girls fan also, and there are some toxic fans in Gilmore Girls. If you got toxic fans in Gilmore Girl community, there's no hope of a safe place. But LA and Vegas Army, they're special. It's you guys. This is special. But pelting the guys with anything, that sucks. If it wasn't for my health, I think I would have just closed my eyes and purchased the tickets to Vegas. Health is a thing. And I didn't realize how able bodied I was when I went to LA. until I went to Vegas, because Vegas was 2 months after my fall, and I was winded easily because I had been stagnant for about 2 months. My body hurt, throbbed. Just traveling was rough on me, and I'm still relatively able-bodied, and I didn't realize how much. Oh yes, Jimin's OST is beautiful. I listen to it multiple times a day. It is on my playlist all the time. Currently, oh sorry, Jimin there. Stigma is currently what's playing. Um, Sorry, my lock screen is gorgeous. Sometimes I just stare. See, Jimin's my baby. I mean, they're all my baby, but oop, sorry, y'all don't need to see all my stuff. That. Hi. Oh my god, sassy Jimin. Sorry, he is too freaking cute. Sorry. I don't know why I'm showing you my Jimin roll. I know! Jimin being sassy is, for the longest time, going to concerts seen as impossible as flying to the moon. I know. I know that feeling. Half of us here know this feeling. With family and money issues, yes. I will say, hi, Tatiana. Hey, oh, mwah. Japan, correct? You're. Oh, hi. That's. I was like, what is happening to my head? It's a cat. Um. Yes, Sassy Jimin's the best. Yes, half of us here who went to the concert went. Okay, so I went with Laurie to Vegas, and I went with Peaches and my sister to LA. And because of my marriage situation and money, I thought LA was impossible. And Peaches, I have to be really careful to keep saying Peaches. Peaches very much thought, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we really doing this? And then Laurie and I for Vegas. When Laurie actually, as soon as they announced, I was like, oh my God, Laurie didn't go to Vegas. Laurie's going to want to go. I mean, she didn't go to LA. She's going to want to go to Vegas. And she messaged me immediately. And I was like, half my body is still broken and my marriage is falling apart. I don't know if I can do this. And then I kind of felt like, well, I can walk. And if my marriage is falling apart, why am I sitting here anyhow? Let's go to Vegas. Found comfort by talking to us here on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for. You are from Latam. I feel like a moron because my geography is 20 years old and I clearly now need to look that up. Oh, girl, my bank account being broken, starting to heal. And then, yeah, come back. These men don't give our hearts, our breath a chance to rest, or our wallets, and it's not their fault. Oh, Latin America. I'm a ding dong. Thank you for educating a ding dong. I feel really stupid, but I'm really thankful that you like just chill. Latin America, LATAM makes sense because I'm like, I need to Google what country that is and where you are located. Latin America, yes. Yeah. And your English is perfect. It really is. And that's another thing is because of the joy of BTS, I've learned how little language really confines us. I mean, how many of you have heard people say, but their music's in Korean? Or, I mean, I've actually heard people be like, oh, it sounds cool, but what a bummer. I don't know that language. Thank you. I literally came on here and I thought I was going to keep it at 10 or 15 minutes, which is so not my style anyhow. and just kind of explain. Oh, good God, Jen. Sorry, Jen and Epiphany. Gonna scoop my heart out right now. I didn't think anybody would get on because I didn't post that I was gonna do anything. But I know that for New Year's, you guys, you're my proof. You're my heart. My therapist. God, please don't let my battery die yet. My therapist was asking me. Um, as I told him everything, because I just saw him for the first time this week, first time ever, and I was telling him about the day that BTS saved my life, and and then in December I actually went to go see them, and I just knew that was the end of my marriage. That there would not be a turning back point from that. And he asked me what it was like to be at a BTS concert with other fans, and I felt like I was levitating talking about it. I was like, it is incredible. It